think we've been pretty thorough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, like all blacks, you were a Republican before 1940, and since that time, you have become a Democrat, also a fighter for civil liberties, and a student of a variety of political philosophies. So, with this knowledge, have you developed a theory or plan for black people to achieve more equitable treatment in the current political process?
Referring to my participation in the Republican Party, prior to the white primary, that was the only avenue in which you could express yourself at the ballot box.
Okay.
And
Right.
so for instance, my father always voted, but he had to vote the Republican ticket because there was nothing else.
Right.
And so in around 1952, I think it was, when Adlai Stevenson was running, I voted then for Adlai Stevenson. That was the first time that was 52, and that was, of course, very shortly after the white primary was broken down.
Well, we wouldn't want anybody to misinterpret it. The fact that it's true that everybody was a Republican, all blacks were Republicans before that. But what I'm trying to gauge is that not everybody has had the opportunity to belong and understood all of these different political philosophies.
Yeah, well, I'm not ashamed of the fact that I was that I worked with the Republicans at that time, and I am not. I mean, I don't like to use the word independent because it's kind of distasteful because of the way some people that call themselves independents in this state have, left an image that some is distasteful. But I'm in political philosophy, I'm independent in my thinking. So that, so far as I'm concerned, I vote for the person instead of the party. For instance, I supported Governor Edwards, and I still think that he did a very good job according to what he had to work with and the cooperation he had from the legislature. And if he ran for governor again, I think I'd support him. That's because after the situations that threw him into the line where time meant that he would get into the governorship, I think he was the right man to go in. So now, the thing I think we're going to have to do is to learn to study these candidates. I mean, face them, not just what they say in the paper on the air, but meet them personally wherever we can, sit down with them, question them. And when we find out that the man seems to have some of the qualities that we would like in him and that we think would do our state good, forgetting even self, that would be good for the future of South Carolina and the nation, we should support that man regardless of party. Now, that's my philosophy. So now, I have a number of friends, so-called friends, that have been in the Democratic Party a long time. We're very good friends, and yet I don't vote for them because they're in the Democratic Party, and many of them I don't vote for, and they know it. So therefore, I'm independent so far as party labels are concerned. And I don't consider myself, as I said in the beginning, a South Carolina Democrat, because the South Carolina Democrat has never done anything for black people, except what they forced them to do through the federal courts. But I am a national Democrat. I am a card-carrying national Democrat. I don't say I'm a Democrat and not pay a membership in a party. But so far as saying I'm a South Carolina Democrat, I am not that, because I know that the party, even as of now, fundamentally doesn't mean us any good as a people. Now, they've got to prove that to me before I die, and I don't think I'm going to be here half as long as I've been here.
Okay. Thank you so much for being with us, Mrs. Simkins.
You are welcome.
Jasper Salmon.
I don't know about him. I don't know enough about him to know. Right. Old Pond over here, Benedict, which I have no respect for. And one or two others. And there's some I was surprised I didn't see. That, you know, that they just manipulate. Ike Williams, because he's their nigger. And they ain't no good at all to us. Black as he is, they ain't a bit of good to us. But you can just put them down. Whenever they get ready for something they want said, or some undercover something they want done, Ike Williams is their man. Now, I know what I'm talking about. I tell old Negro that himself. I've told him that.
Well, I was going to ask you about, you know, I knew that you, I think that's...
No, it's known that, I mean, they had a meeting today. I don't go to any of the meetings. I told them as long, and I told Ike. I said, long as you're connected, brother, I will never breathe the same air you breathe one of me. And he told me I was wrong. The way to fight a thing is the inside, not from the outside. I said, I'm not going to fight at all. I'm just going on like I don't give a dead blame. So, but I get the news out of the meetings. I always get the news. So I hadn't properly acted in these child abuse cases. And he said 15,000 members of NAACP to stay with DSS and not go over to the Children's Bureau. And the Children's Bureau, 1966, was labeled as a racist institution. Now, somebody got him to get up there and say that. I'm satisfied. I ain't gonna bet my life on it, but
Do we have any more black leaders?
I don't consider we have any in South Carolina. I mean that are outstanding, that you know if you wake them up 2 o'clock in the morning, they're for their people. Now, I don't say they're not here, but I haven't seen them. I think the Lord's got the... What street does she live on?
Waitrose.
Yeah.
From your perspective, what have been some of the highlights in the progress of black people in Columbia and South Carolina?
Oh, well, I said before, the fights that they made, the great fights they made against the Democratic Party and the white establishment in the late 40s and early 50s.
Real short on this one. What are some of the central issues that blacks need to address now?
The drug traffic among their people, building up an economic foundation on which to build a sound structure for.
Is this indicative of the South Carolina Democratic Party's attitudes towards outspoken blacks and blacks in general?
Yes, they are subtle. In these other states where we've had church burnings and bombings and killing of people and all like that, I think we didn't have them in South Carolina. I don't think the white establishment is any different in South Carolina in its philosophy and its thinking about...
I have 5 more questions, so I'll try to shoot through them, okay?
Okay, just go one after another.
Okay.
And me not saying anything.
You don't have to.
All right.
Okay. Do you think the time and efforts of the Legislative Black Caucus could be better served?
Yes, I certainly do. I agree there's a lot more they can do. Now that they have shown the whole public what they think about the flag, I say let the black...
Do you think the white community here in South Carolina has too much influence in deciding who our black elected officials will be?
Yes, I do.
How can black people avoid being manipulated?
I don't know thoroughly how I can answer that.
What is your position on the argument that black people should support black businesses and vice versa?
I think certainly they should, and for the economic betterment of the people, because if they support black businesses, they'll have more positions in businesses for some of their children to go.
No, that's okay. I can be on her face and then adjust to you.
Along economic lines, do you advocate exclusive ethnic strength, or would you support the integration of resources?
I support the integration where we can. We eventually certainly must learn that we are a part of America. We must become a part of America and enter fully into the American stream.
Hold on 1 second, Steve. Mrs. Simkins, have you developed a theory or a plan for black people to achieve more equitable treatment in the current political process? I should do that. Mrs. Simkins, have you developed a theory or a plan for black people to achieve more equitable treatment through the current political process?
I think we should be very sure that we vote for people regardless of party label, we vote for people that we think are going to do the most good for